Bennifer seems to be on the outs, and today we have all the proof you need. Living apart, missing wedding rings, tense outings, and more. Let's break down together why these two are calling for a divorce sooner rather than later. So there are multiple reports that claim that Ben and Jen are living apart, and this has been confirmed by multiple sources and in multiple outlets. So for starters, TMZ reported on May 16th that Ben has been staying at a Brentwood home all by himself. Like, I get wanting space to focus when you're on a job, and he is currently working on a movie, but the timing's kind of iffy. This was confirmed by US Weekly later that same day, and then on May 19th, an Entertainment Tonight source claimed they have been staying in separate homes and the tension has been high. So Jen, mother of two, was seen house hunting in Beverly Hills without Ben, and instead with some gal pals. And anyone who has been through a breakup knows that you really need your girls for support and clear decision making when big bad things happen. The source said he's been focusing on his work and his kids now. Ben has already moved out and they'll likely have to sell the dream house they spent 2 years searching for. Now, it's only been like a year since the duo bought this $60.85 million, 460,000 square foot mansion that they currently own. The home is referred to as the Wallingford Estate, and it sits on a 5-acre property and boasts 12 bedrooms, 24 bathrooms. That's a lot of real estate to get rid of. So insiders have been claiming that these guys are on 2 different pages. Sources are remaining cryptic about why, we're having some marriage problems. In Touch's insider claims that Bennifer said they'd matured and learned from their mistakes, but some of the bigger issues that tore them apart the first time remain the same. Now, this insider also claims the couple has never stopped loving each other, but she can't control him and he can't change her. So the writing is on the wall. It's over. They're headed for a divorce, and for once, Ben's not to blame. If you're wondering what I meant there, I'll elaborate. So back when he broke up with Jennifer Garner, he was on the Howard Stern show, and he said despite our mutual respect for one another, our marriage didn't work. And we tried for a period of time to stay together for the kids. And he's and you know what? We probably would have ended up at each other's throats. I'd probably still be drinking, which is, part of why I started drinking booze, because I was trapped. Now, he did backtrack. He went, he was okay, I didn't mean it towards her, but Nowadays, he's become a little more guarded after that misquote because, his comments were a little misconstrued. He's the point I was trying to make was a sad one. Look, obviously, everyone took all these exclusive reports with a grain of salt. In Touch is the type of gossip rag that reported Jennifer Aniston was pregnant every other week for nearly 20 years. And their anonymous sources aren't exactly, reliable. But then when we've got the other outlets hopping on the bandwagon, So meanwhile, US Weekly spoke to someone who said, these guys started having issues a few months ago when Jen was ramping up work commitments and prepping for her tour because she's very focused on work. And once again, 2 different pages. Also, the same source told People, these guys didn't spend Mother's Day together. Yikes. So, Jennifer liked to post on Instagram about unhealthy relationships. It was a March 19th post, and it was from relationship coach Lena Marsak, and this went viral. The post in question reads, "You cannot build a healthy relationship with somebody who lacks integrity and emotional safety, doesn't respect your time, doesn't think it's important to call or text back in a respectable time frame, lacks effective communication skills, and doesn't know who they are or what they want." The caption added, you can't do that. We can't expect someone to see us when we can't even see themselves. Getting in a relationship is the easy part. Nurturing and fostering it is a different story. After all, love is not a feeling, it's an action. So fans have pointed out that the pair have been spending a lot of time apart lately and attending events without each other. For example, Jen was pictured stepping out without Ben recently. She was seen in a casual sporty look as she arrived at a dance studio in LA, and she was with her crew, but no sign of her husband. She was also solo for her co-chairing duties at the glitzy Met Gala in New York on May 6th, with a lot of folks surprised that Ben skipped the event. Now, Ben is working right now on The Accountant too, but his sources are yeah, no, I'm not here for it anymore. Now, he was on his own while appearing at the roast of Tom Brady on May 5th, which was the night before, which kind of cancels out the too busy for the Met Gala excuse. If you're working up a storm, why are you going to this social event instead? So, during their last outing together, the pair appeared kinda strained, with neither cracking a smile as they grabbed lunch together. They've also appeared tense during other previous outings, including when they were embroiled in quite the heated discussion during their St. Bart's getaway. Just months earlier, before that, in September, Jennifer was seen looking very, very tense as she sat in the passenger seat car next to Ben as they were just driving around LA together. Now, the two had previously raised eyebrows when they were seen attending the premiere of Jen's film The Mother. In an awkward moment while posing on the red carpet, she had a frown on her face and she was like gesturing at him. And Ben looked really angry, and a lip reader later clarified it was like, maybe not an argument. Now, after they were snapped having their apparently very tense conversation, they soon reverted to Hollywood mode with beaming grins, stage-worthy kisses, ooh la la. Now, going back to that lip reader, apparently Jen asked Ben if her low-cut top was too much, and he was like, yeah, you look fine, sweetie. Now, later that night when the couple managed to find their right pose, he asked her to get like a little closer, and he's like, oh, don't worry, babe. And apparently she responded saying like, come close to me. So like, I don't know, it just seems all a little put on. So Jennifer's decision to release her Amazon Prime documentary, The Greatest Love Story Never Told, which chronicled her love story with Ben, kind of put a strain on the marriage. The Candid Show was the third part of her very public $20 million tribute to Ben, which also consisted of This Is Me Now, a love story, which was a semi-autobiographical musical rom-com action sci-fi film, and the single, This Is Me Now. And a source said like Ben would never try to stifle Jennifer's dreams or tell her she can't do something that advances her career, but she can be kind of controlling of him. So all of this media stuff detailed the highs and lows of this rekindled romance. And this was like a documentary, with Ben revealing that he initially asked his wife to keep their relationship offline when they decided to give things another go. While navigating their reconciliation, 2 decades following the first engagement, Ben was like, I have zero interest in becoming a fixture on your social media accounts. Getting back together, I said, listen, one of the things I don't want is a relationship on social media. This was a direct quote from Ben. Then I sort of realized it's not a fair thing to ask. It's sort of like, you're gonna marry a boat captain, and then you go, well, I don't like the water. He continued on to say, we're just 2 different people with different kinds of approaches trying to learn to compromise. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a compromise. On top of this, Ben did not want his love letters to Jennifer being made public in this new film, but insiders have claimed it wasn't because he kept them a secret from his ex-wife. Now, Jennifer Garner's fans were really ticked when, Ben revealed he clung onto his correspondence with J.Lo during his 13-year marriage to Garner, and later had the letters and emails bound into a book to gift to Jenny when they reunited in 2021. Which, so cute, so romantic. But insiders have quashed any notion that the admission shocked Jennifer Garner, insisting she's happy for them, and she's friends with them, and she's also at peace in her relationship with John Miller. Ben would love for the outside world not to know about his love letters, but he is a romantic, and as much as he loved Jennifer, he never got over J.Lo. This is according to a source that told DailyMail.com. Ben likes to keep his memories, whether it be from movies he worked on or family and relationship moments. He always has what the kids call receipts. Now, this insider continued by saying, no one is surprised by this at all. Jennifer is okay with it, J.Lo obviously loves it, and everyone notices that this was all meant to be. But it doesn't mean he wanted it out in the public. So another insider source claimed that they've known Ben for more than 10 years, and apparently everything is a fight for him and Jen. The only satisfaction he gets in life is overcoming when the odds are stacked against him. And now that these guys are reunited, the ego battle between Ben and J.Lo was always on full display, and is only eclipsed by the obvious passion and respect they have for one another. But there has to be an easier path, and you have to ask yourself why they want their marriage to be this way in the first place. I'm guessing for publicity, and in J.Lo's case, to promote her new work based on their love story. I have a feeling the moment this new tour cycle ends, so will the marriage. Publicly. Alright, here's another thing. Deja vu. So J.Lo said, Ben and I, we broke up 3 days before our wedding. We had this whole big thing planned, 14 ushers, multiple bridesmaids, and 3 days before, we just crumbled under the pressure. Ben himself has mentioned that the reason behind the breakup was just the massive amount of scrutiny around their private life. He also said he told his wife when they got back together, once again, I don't want this on social media. But then he's like, well, I guess I'll compromise, it can be on social media. And now J.Lo has this whole media cycle that is just about the relationship. He's like, look, we're just 2 people with different kind of approaches, trying to learn to compromise. Well, folks, with the rise of social media, public scrutiny is a lot worse now than it was back in the early 2000s. Just saying. And finally, sources and insiders have been non-stop dishing about all of the stuff with Ben and J.Lo. And the latest from Page 6 is kind of a lot, which is why I left it till the end. So the outlet spoke to someone connected to Ben, who noted that if there was a way to divorce on grounds of temporary insanity, he would. He feels like the last 2 years was just a fever dream, and he's come to his senses now and understands there is just no way this is going to work. All that being said, Ben continues to be seen without his engagement ring and was noticeably absent from the premiere of Jennifer's new movie Atlas on Monday night. And J-Lo, however, did name drop him in an interview that same evening, telling Jimmy Kimmel that when she met Barbra Streisand, the legendary singer was asking me to look at my engagement ring at the time that Ben had given me years ago. Which, okay, cute and all, but Oh well, folks, that's it for me once again. Be sure to let me know in the comments your thoughts on this relationship. And other than that, I've been Alexa, your resident emo girly. See y'all here next time beyond the screen.